Hi, I'm Kelly, and this is day 2 of my juice fast. Um, I originally was only going to look heinous for the first day, but I realized that I only have a few minutes to do a video today, so I wanted to sneak it in. I also realized that my anxiety makes it really challenging for me to remember everything that I want to say, so I should probably start taking notes before I do my videos so I don't forget what is important, but I didn't do that either because I forgot. And one of the things that I forgot to mention yesterday is that one of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this juice fast is because I've been having memory problems. And it seems to be getting worse. And I know a lot of people will make jokes about, oh, you're getting to be that age, you forget why you went into a room. But I do feel like it's happening in a way that's not justifiable by just age. And you'll notice when I talk, I'll sometimes forget words that I used to use all the time. I don't remember how I want to finish a sentence. I'll get halfway through a sentence and I'm not sure where to go with it. Those are all things that never used to really be an issue for me. I did go see a neurologist a couple years ago when this first started to concern me, and I didn't have any tests done because the neurologist was sure that everything I had described could be explained by sleep apnea, and he believed that if I just got a CPAP that all of those symptoms would go away, and those included the memory issues. And a second thing that I forgot to mention yesterday that I hope goes away is some pretty severe swelling in my feet and ankles, and I guess in my fingers as well, but I really notice it in my feet and ankles. Like by the end of the day, they're really, like cankle-esque going on there. And I seem to get marks like on my feet or ankles if I wear sandals or if I wear socks, and it doesn't seem to matter like how loose they are. I will always end up with with marks on my feet or my ankles, and it doesn't seem to matter like how long I wear something. The marks go there pretty quickly, and I don't know if that's 100% due to the swelling or if it's a combination of swelling and issues that I have with my skin. My dad had this too, where he just had really sensitive skin. It's also highly or not inflexible, but very flexible. Like my skin stretches and it's pretty sensitive. I mean, mine's not as bad as my dad's was, but my dad was obviously a lot older before he died, where he would get to a point where sheets would cut his skin. Like if there was a little wrinkle in the sheet, his skin was so delicate. Um, so I don't know. I get if I have a pair of sunglasses on for a minute, literally. Hey, I'm sorry. That's my cat Willow. She's out of control. I thought maybe she could sit on my lap, but obviously she cannot. Anyway, if I have sunglasses on for a minute or less, I already have the sunglasses marks, and it doesn't seem to matter what sunglasses I buy, the weight of the sunglasses, the tips, or like the material, whether it's the padded or whether it's plastic or whatever. So I get these marks pretty easily. So I'm kind of hoping that if any of that has to do with swelling or water retention, that doing the juice fast will make those go away. But back to the neurologist, he believed that using a CPAP would get rid of the headaches that I have regularly, the memory problems that I have, the swelling in my extremities. I can't remember what other things I had described, but he was pretty sure it was going to be like a one solution fixes it all, and one solution fixed. Oh, and the snoring too. It does fix the snoring, but basically it didn't do bugger all for any of the other things that I have a problem with. So at some point, I think that if at the end of this juice fast, if I don't feel any improvement in my mental clarity or my memory, I'll probably go have more extensive tests done. But I'm sort of hoping, fingers crossed, that this will help with that. Another thing I forgot to mention yesterday is that my husband has decided to join me on this, which is going to be an amazing gift because um, he he's an eater and I'm an eater, and we both liked sweets and going out to restaurants. And in the times since we've been together, we met about 3.5 years ago, and I was almost 30 pounds lighter then. And I'm not blaming this on him, but what I'm saying, prior to that, when I was single, I had 100% control of my environment. I made the decision about whether or not I went out to eat with friends, where I went out to eat, what was in my home, how I prepared the food, what food was made for each meal, and I've had to try to navigate having another person who gets an opinion, on those things, and I've been struggling to do that, which brings me to the last thing I did not mention, and I'll probably talk more about this in future videos, but I consider myself a food addict or a compulsive overeater. And I have some very specific food triggers, and those are oil, sugar. I'd like to say salt now, although that's something that I never did entirely get rid of. And when I was following my food plan, which was a whole food, plant-based, no oil food plan, the salt didn't seem to really affect me that much. Like it wouldn't trigger a compulsive overeating bender or anything. But I do know that it does make the food more palatable, and I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not opposed to just trying to eliminate salt altogether, which is another thing that I'm kind of hoping to accomplish with this fast, is that I'd like to break those addictions. I've been trying to do it on my own for a while, for the last 3.5 years basically, and I just can't seem to get back to where I was. So I'm sort of hoping that maybe this fast will work because it'll kind of take food off the table. And the biggest struggle that I have had since I met my husband is travel. Prior to meeting him, I just never traveled. And I mean, I would go see my mom or go visit some family or something like that. But for the most part, I never traveled. And now we travel within the United States and we travel internationally. Like, I didn't even have a passport before we met. And we've been to Costa Rica and Mexico, and we went to Italy and France for our honeymoon. And I struggle enough going into a restaurant in my own town, where I can speak the same language and I can talk to the cooks there. I struggle finding places where I can go where I can have no oil. That seems to be the thing. You can go pretty much anywhere and get some kind of vegan whole food option, but it's always going to have oil in it unless you're getting the bowl of the iceberg lettuce with some cardboard sliver of a tomato and no dressing, because they're not going to have any kind of dressing that doesn't have oil in it. And you still pay, $12 for it, which then I get this massive resentment about, because I'm like, I don't want to pay all that money. And so then I end up buying something that I can't have or shouldn't have, which then triggers some kind of bender, which costs me a lot more, than $12 by the time it's all done, including my, my feelings about myself and my body and my health. So I really should just pay the $12, but or I don't know, or get comfortable going into a restaurant and just having some tea and enjoying the company. I don't know why I struggle with that so much. I just develop such a resentment. Anyway, this video is already getting longer than I intended it to, so I just want to update you on how day one ended. I got hungry multiple times during the day, and every time I would drink some juice, I would probably drink it a little too quickly. And when I did that, I would start to feel kind of nauseous and lightheaded. So I kept going back and forth between I'm starving, I'm nauseous, I'm starving, I'm nauseous. And so today I'm going to work on sipping, like sipping the same thing for over a period of time. Right now I'm drinking sort of a version of Juicing Mama's or Todd's V8 juice, and Kirsty K, my inspiration. I'll talk about her channel on another time. But I kind of modified it a little bit for myself. I didn't write anything down, so maybe I'll do that later if I get it to where I really like it. But so I'm going to work on that. My husband's been sick all week, and I may have caught what he had. So I started to feel bad last night with a sore throat. Well, actually, I woke up yesterday morning before I even started the fast with a sore throat, and I was a little worried about that. So I started doing some zinc, and today it doesn't feel like it's progressed at all, so not good on that. I did wake up with a horrible, horrible headache this morning. So I'm not a big fan of that, but sitting up makes it a little bit better. And anyway, I think that's really all I want to say. Oh, I'm not going to weigh myself daily. I'm not. I'm going to do, well, I probably will, but I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to do a weekly weigh-in. But I did get up this morning and hop on the scale, and I was down 3.4, which I expected. I expected between 3 and 4, just in terms of all the water weight. I had really felt a lot of bloating before I started yesterday, which is another reason why I started yesterday. I started early. I had planned to start on December 31st, once all of my family's Christmas things were done. And I'll talk more about that in another video because I'm really nervous about Saturday, which is going to be my family's Christmas. But this whole Christmas season had stretched out into some ridiculous, gluttonous binge fest that I was feeling horrible, and I finally just decided I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't do this one more day. I'm starting the fast early. So now I have to navigate that part of it, which I was trying to avoid. But anyway, that's really all I have today. Thanks for watching.